So today we're going to be telling you guys a little bit about our RCF TT25-CXA stage monitors. These guys are great. We took this one out of the cover, that way you can kind of see it a little bit better on the sides. We'll go over everything in a minute. But these guys will go from 50 hertz to 20,000, a whopping 133 decibels, which is pretty crazy. And the conical horn in the middle, which you can't see because of the nice foam that's in it, does a 60 by 60 dispersion pattern, which is great because you can actually walk away from the monitors a little bit. Has a 2.5-inch voice coil on the high frequency, 3.5 on the 15, and usual inputs and outputs on the TT series. You have RDNet and everything. We'll look at those in a minute. But 900 hertz crossover, which really lets these things come to life in the vocal range for a monitor. They do have a soft limiter, 1100 watts RMS, and do want to make sure you guys understand that is RMS power, so it's not peak or the way a lot of these other people rate it. So realistically it would be 2200 watt peak, 1100 watts RMS, 300 of that RMS is going to the high frequency, 800 of it is going to the low frequency, the 15. And convection cooled, so no fans or anything to make a lot of noise. And we'll show you all the ins and outs on the back in a minute, but really solidly built, made out of birch, has a really nice Torlex type finish on it. The really impressive thing about these is 39.5 pounds, so really small. And to be a 15, it's also really impressive that the dimensions on it, you're only looking at about 13 inches tall, I believe it's 22 wide, and 19 inches deep, so not bad at all for what it is. So we'll just kind of show you guys a little bit starting out on the back. So on the back amp module, like all the TT series, machined very well. We've got the little cosmetic dip, helps out with the heat sink, power con in and out, up to 15 amps on the output. These things are extremely efficient with the Class D Pascal amplifiers that they have, auto switching from 110 to 220. Realistically, I think this thing draws about 1.5 amps. We'll show you that in another video. In case you forget, you have the key for the RDNet that's written here. And then on your module for input and output, you have XLR input, XLR output, RDNet in, RDNet out. And then you have your bypass button, and then you can get to all the controls of this. So you can push it once to get the gain, next for any type of delay. I don't know why you'd ever need it, but then you push it again and you can go to all of your presets. So really nice plastic and metal construction on this handle. Very nice rubber grip on the back to help out. The machining is extremely nice. The finish it's got, very thick grill. You can see the foam is extremely thick for protection from the elements. What you see on the side, just the machining on this is done extremely well. And you can see everything's recessed in, routed very well. Pole mount, all metal, which is really nice, and recessed in for any hardware on this side. We really like the look of having everything routed precision-wise like they do. And same thing with our TTL6 cabinets. Any of the TT series is just very well. It's got a little bit of a price to it, but it's worth it. And just always remember the way these are rated is in actual true RMS wattage, so they can run that all night pretty much, instead of just having the peak settings like most of the other cabinets. So we'll hook one of these up and let you listen to it.
Here we go. I'm right back where I've really always been. I got over you long enough to let my heart ache mend. Then today What a fool I was to think I could get by with only these few million tears I've cried. And I should have known the worst.
So one last thing we did want to show you guys is the footprint of this monitor. Because you can see Nick standing here and this thing looks super tiny. So we'll go ahead and show you how big it actually is from the front view. It's just well hidden. So much bigger than it really looks from the back. They just did a really good job keeping the footprint of the speaker incredibly small. Not bad at all.